Welcome to That Comic Smell podcast. With your hosts,
David Robertson,
Fernando Pons,
Giuseppe Labertino,
Mike Sadakat,
and Tom Stewart.
Anyway, we connected. That was that.
I kept
not Darjeeling.
No.
Because when we were sitting here, I was phoning you, but it looked like you were calling us. Like it came up as if you were calling us. But then I said to, we were all saying, like, it doesn't say answer.
No.
I had no answer.
No, and it didn't say my screen either.
Yeah.
Three. Is it still that sound? Three.
Yeah.
It's also the.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, they leave the music. Yeah, that's
I
right.
have to like update my operating system to allow the Skype to work. I've had it up to here with updating shit.
Windows and Mac.
Mac.
No, right. Oh yeah, it updates for
But it's
every
like,
2 minutes. So
you know.
I don't know if it's made a difference.
No. Oh, you want more?
Oh,
Yeah, that's a treat on either side.
Chocolate
Chocolate
heaven.
chip and fucking
Stone.
chocolate.
Chocolate heaven cookies.
Is that? I'm not surprised. Chocolate heaven cookies.
So, British comics. Yeah. Woo. Well, that was. I thought it was an opportunity for you to show me, tell me your favorite British comics, because in Spain, you know, I didn't have the opportunity to access lots of British comics, to be honest.
Okay.
Only very little things have been published. Certainly at the time I was living there. I remember when I was in school, in secondary school, some stories from 2000 AD were published in Spain in a sort of American format comic book.
Translated.
Translated, yes. So you had some from Judge Dredd, Strontium Dogs, Flesh, and Rogue Trooper. And Rogue Trooper. That's probably the main 4 that I remember they were at that time. But it didn't last very long. They only had maybe a year or so we had them.
Okay.
And then they kind of disappeared. We never saw them again. We never had anything like the Beano or anything else from that kind of magazines
So that was
from Britain.
Yeah.
We had our own sort of style in Spain. So yeah, so British comics to me at that time, and when I moved here to Britain, I thought,
What year was that?
when I came here,
Yeah.
I came at the end of 2000.
Oh, right, so, yeah. Well into adulthood then.
So yeah, it's kind of, I really didn't know what was published here, what was local or not, what was really the autochthonous comics. And yes, I heard about many writers and artists from Britain like Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons and Dave Lloyd and Alan Davies and, you know, so on and so forth. I mean,
the list could go on forever.
here, Brian Boland and, you know, lots of them, but I knew of them through American comics, through Marvel and DC comics that they were published in Spain.
The British invasion.
So yeah, so I knew about them, but so I was curious. So these guys did some stuff. Eventually, I found some information that they did some stuff before going into the American comics, but we didn't know. We were not exposed at that time in Spain. Now they are, but then I was not aware of it.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why I thought British comics.
Okay.
Okay, now I am aware of it on the situation, but it's interesting. I like to know, you know, the origins, influences, and what you liked when you were younger from here, what you like now as well. You know.
Well, I don't know, what would most everybody's sort of first fortes into comics have been? Would it have been like Beano, Dandy, stuff like that?
Yeah, Victor.
Like the old annuals and
Yeah. But it really, to be honest, it was more Spider-Man on Saturday morning Superstore. Spider-Man and his amazing friends. Spider-Man, Batman as in Adam West.
Mm-hmm.
So all those things were on television, so I went straight to those things.
Yeah.
But I did get lots of Dandies and Beanos as well. And your Willie and the Bruins. Especially the ones they would publish at Christmas time.
The annuals.
Yeah, the annuals are like the big thing here.
Yeah, that's how that. Yeah,
So it's a box standard Christmas present. It's like a Beano annual or a Dandy annual.
Yeah, because then the comics are dead, aren't they? That kind of comics as I experienced British comics when I were growing up, that's gone. That's dead. There's nothing there now.
Yeah,
even down to Beano and the Dandy as well.
There's nothing there. I mean, there'd be a whole shelf.
Topper and Beezer.
Yeah, there'd be like a selection of things at the newsagents.
I've got
the local newsagents, the local corner shop would have a shelf of comics.
Believe it or
You'd
not,
have to you'd have to have an order with them so that they pull, add a pull list at the
newsagents
at the local corner shop.
I remember that.
Those style of comics were actually. You know how a lot of the stuff we did were from America. We based them on what Americans did. It was reversed in 1980s. The Americans took Slimer from Ghostbusters and gave him a Beano Dandy style comic. Now I've got one edition back home and I need to hunt it out because they sold the first few copies over here to see if it would translate. Well, I don't think it did, but it was a brave attempt to start that sort of comic over there and over here.
Was that Wicked?
Might have been. That sounds pretty familiar.
On the front.
Yeah, it probably
and
was.
It looked like a DC Thompson's Dandy.
That'll be the one then.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have to say that the downturn on the comics in the newsagents, the matter that now you don't find them in the newsagents anymore, as it used to be ready available when we were young. Unfortunately, it's the same in Spain. When I was a kid, I could go to newsagents, and you had to go to different newsagents to find different things because maybe in one newsagent you were able to get, I don't know, Spider-Man, maybe in another newsagent you were able to get Batman, and you have to move.
Well, the sad thing is that then, the 8-year-old, the 9-year-old, 10-year-old, the 11-year-old that was going to the shop to get it, the equivalent ages now, if they go to a newsagent, there's no there for them.
No.
There's that Toxic thing. There's something called Toxic.
It's not this,
But even that name, it doesn't.
But they're kind of magazines rather.
Yeah, magazines with some comic in it.
But the thing is, that is not really what I feel that is interested.
Also,
I'm having my kids read because they have semi-reading comics, so they read comics, they read books, so they are avid readers. But I'm aware that kids at this age, from 8 onwards, many of them don't read comics or read books. They are more interested in being YouTube to see who Dan DDM is doing about Minecraft or whatever other YouTubers and videos are going in video games. That's what they are interested. That's their medium.
Yeah.
Well, it's difficult for me because I'm not that generation to understand.
It's crazy.
But it's what it is.
Yes.
But in my case in particular, my kids, they are exposed to comics and they read comics and they read books as well. Apart from being on the online and video games and things like that.
Yeah.
And in some ways I'm quite proud of that because I thought, that's good, I mean, loves Marvel comics from the 70s and the 80s.
Maybe same.
He absolutely loves that. You give you a Marvel comic from now, the modern ones, and they say, I don't like them. I prefer the old stuff. And they say, well, you know what, you got good taste.
I agree.
You taught them well.
And my daughter loves comics as well, so it's kind of in that thing. So but unfortunately the situation in the agents is quite sad nowadays.
Yeah.
There's nothing really there.
But I remember enjoying reading, even though I might not have understood them, newspaper strips.
Right.
And I remember some newspapers, I think even the shitty free local newspaper we used to get in my area had like a 2-page comic insert in it that was loose
on the weekend.
at the weekend that,
yeah.
that the kids would get.
Yeah.
And the newspaper was for the adult.
Yeah, I remember the Sunday.
So remember that, yeah.
Local Sunday
And
newspaper
also
in where I'm
just the
from.
regular newspaper strips being of interest to me because I just like the drawing and I was into drawing and stuff.
Yeah.
Even though I might not have understood.
I used to love that because my local newspaper in Menorca, in my own, they had that on Sundays. So my dad used to bring a copy, and in the middle you had reprints of Flash Gordon, The Phantom by Lee Falk. You had
All the old classics.
Hagar Terrible, the Viking guy.
It's enough to make any Spanish kid on an island to fall in love with it, doesn't it?
So I used to do that. Those 4 pages, the central one, just take it, and that was me happy. You know, I remember that.
And often they were the only like real colour bits in the paper, with the cartoons.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah. That was the same in Spain. Yeah, absolutely.
I've not brought any Beano and Dandy just because I thought, well, they're maybe 2 of the biggies.
That kind of goes without saying when you mention British comics.
Someone else.
Yeah, you have to. So you go Commando there.
Yeah,
And annuals as well, because that's another big tradition here.
Yeah.
Annuals.
I don't remember them being annuals. I mean, I got these annuals at a steal at a car boot sale, but 250p, you know, that's amazing. But no, just saying to Giuseppe there, I remember them being smaller. They were a weird size. They weren't like A5 or anything, but they were like that kind of size.
You can still get them somewhere.
Yeah.
And WH Smith, I think, still have them.
But I still, like, they were affordable. They were like 10, 20p, so you could get them with, like, a couple of penny shoes and a bag of crisps.
But I
or
remember
whatever.
even back then it was like number 1820 or something like that. It's like, how many of them?
The good thing about them though is there was like loads of individual stories within it, and it was such good value. But that was the good thing about them. They were just so cheap and so easy just to pick up and flick through. You know what I mean?
Enjoy them.
Yeah, I loved them. Absolutely loved them, and they were just so good to shove in your backpack as you were running about the streets. You know what I mean? You're going about with your wee backpack. It's literally filled with your hat, sweeties, and a Commando, and maybe a Beano that you bought earlier on in the week that shoved in your bag.
And the Eagle as well.
And a drawing pad or whatever running about. You know what I mean?
I mind seeing them in stacks in the corner shop.
Yeah, but they're just incredible, and they're unbelievable art that's in the inside as well for what they were. You know. Look at that. I know most of them were black and white, but
that actually doesn't look like Commando.
No,
but it's
from the little pocketbook.
Yeah.
Because they used to have like £3 a page.
It is 7 brand new stories in an annual.
That's interesting, isn't it? That's new stuff with the Commando name.
Yeah.
Nice Ian Kennedy cover as well. Yeah, that's not reprints from.
No,
There's a guy throwing up there.
That's new stuff.
it is brand new stories just so that they can sell the annual.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, they've done the same in this as well. But it's the same basic. It's the same basic stories, but it's just that same sort of storylines. You know, there's attending.
I liked it, but I got a bit bored with them sometimes. I was like, they were kind of like last resort reading.
See,
if I'd expended everything else.
I absolutely love them.
Although I did like them, and I did like the war stuff, and I had little bags of them little green soldiers. Green ones and the grey ones. Yeah.
Once again,
well, that was unavoidable. You had to.
Once again, like 20p on the shelf. You know what I mean?
They're all on skateboards, weren't they? The hold them up.
Yeah, the wee feet.
I used to have them flying.
I loved them.
Like,
the ones that were on the ground as well.
I thought they were flying.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice picture.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's actually like there's covers in here.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what the story is with that. If these were existing
That's
stories
something
that they've chopped up and.
That's something I remember from them. Is that occasionally they would cut in.
Factual.
Yeah, they would cut in factual stuff and actual pictures of like the camps and all that kind of stuff, and it was readily available for kids to read as well. And you've got these horrific pictures of concentration camps and big lines of people being marched in. And these things are just readily available for
Better than seeing someone's guts split off on film, I think.
Here it's at least opening the eyes as to
and it's historical.
Yeah, that's true.
It was always Starblazer that I loved. That was a similar format to the little Commando, but it was science fiction.
Yeah,
Starblazer, they were great.
That I think I liked more, but I had a lot less access to it.
So,
I mean, when I was growing up, I didn't even know about our Woolly and the rest of it, Brooms. Because we didn't get that down there. They didn't bother selling it because it was like, who's going to buy that? Can't read it.
that's a good point, actually.
So I never heard of it. It's like, our Woolly, Woolly. Anyway.
I'll be back.
Well, how old were you when you first read Viz?
Viz, I think I was. It's when I returned to the UK, so I was 16.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Not as young as some folks.
I didn't carry. I didn't. No, I wasn't here when I didn't have access to it when it first came out. There was a comic I wanted to bring, which I don't know where I put them, but Scream. That was one I wanted to bring because that was one I enjoyed. It didn't have a long run, but it was like completely horror.
That's well remembered that by a lot of people.
Yeah, and the artwork were brilliant in it. And it was
just
quite suspenseful for.
So they've just done a compilation of it.
Oh right.
Like very recently.
I enjoyed that.
Scream,
yeah.
Misty.
And thing that was mentioned last time I really enjoyed and remember getting it from the library as a kid at school was that fungus. Didn't realise that was called, but fungus bogeyman. I love that. I was like, wow, look at this. It's like a colour thing that isn't. It's all one story. It's not Dennis the Menace, and it's not anything like that. And it's a longer story and everything.
It brings a smile to my face. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, not Brian Toll, but Raymond Briggs. Yeah.
I was just going to mention quickly the other things that I used to stumble across British comics wise was there was like strips and it was kind of like art pieces with stories, kind of like what Alan Lawson did in like Backstreet Heroes and stuff like that.
Yes,
I would see a lot of these in Backstreet Heroes and AWOL and stuff because that was the kind of stuff my dad was buying. So he was buying biker magazines and whatnot, so I would see all the strips in them, and a lot of the times they were sort of lewd things. It was very sort of Viz-esque, just sort of slapstick, some carry-on-esque sort of stories, but they were fun. They were fun little things to catch your eye and whatnot.
I forget the name of it, but one of the biker magazines has a main character who looks basically like Thor in a biker outfit. I forgot his name. It's a British comic. British comic strip in a British biker magazine. But I remember they published the combined stories in a book, and we used to sell it when I was working for Bookcase, but unfortunately the name has escaped me.
Yeah.
But a quick internet search at some point might be able to salvage that name.
Yeah, that and Shuggie and Duggie were another comic strip thing that I used to read. See, when you look at that now, it's very it's kind of almost racist in a way, to be fair.
Is it still going?
Huh?
Is it still going?
I don't think
it used to be in some of the tabloid papers.
Yeah, it's like Stone Age Scottish and English neighbours, but it's very much like
I've seen it.
Yeah, the Scotsmen are all top to toe in like tartan and really hairy and really quite brutish, and the English ones are wee tiny moustaches with bowler hats and bearskin loincloths, and they're all really quite topped, like yes, and it's just it's on the nose, but it
reminds me of like the Jocks and the Geordies.
Yeah.
The Dandy, yeah. I used to like that.
I didn't
know what it meant.
I didn't know what the Jocks and the Geordies
No,
meant
I didn't know
either.
what a jock was or a Geordie, and I just liked it.
You didn't realise as a jock that you were reading
I
it.
didn't know it was about me.
Yeah.
And then when I realised that, I was furious and I burnt all my issues.
Like a KLF and £1 million.
How dare they? So, what have you got?
I've got.
That looks
I
awesome.
brought an issue of different things. I mean, when I was a kid, I was just.
Oh,
If anyone, I was probably quite popular with friends' parents because they were trying to make room and try and get rid of comics. I was like, yeah, I'll take them. I just used to go home, but sneak in. Because if my mum and dad saw me bringing in all these comics, it was like, what can you do with them? Where are you putting these?
Yeah.
But I'd get big piles and just get handed stuff that I didn't, that friends had. I was like, I can't believe my mate has just given me about 20 issues of Tiger. Brilliant. But anyway, these were like war ones, but I didn't really.
Victor.
I just happened to have them, I don't know. Battle was one of them.
Is that
Warlord.
got Charlie Swan in it?
I'm not sure.
At that point, 75.
Loft is one man, Luftwaffe. D-Day Dawson. Who's this? This is an IPC Magazine's one, right? So this is a London.
The back's interesting.
Fu Manchu, The Adventures of Fu Manchu, King of Kung Chu.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
That's Battle.
Interesting.
Turkey. That's an advert
Yeah.
for food tree board.
For
Oh, is
King
it?
of
Cheers.
Kung Chu.
Look what they were selling.
Whoa! Right.
Oh my god.
Warlord again. War ones I liked them if there was not much else to.
Yeah.
DC Thompson, that one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right. Warlord. Victor.
Hey.
Have you seen this man?
Victor looks like DC Thompson. Little did I was thinking on the way here. Little did I know that I'd end up living in the city where all this stuff thrives. Came from. No idea. Victor, I think out of the three.
Oh, cool, a giant sloth.
Imagine coming across this. I think out of the three, this was probably the one that, if I have to think now, which one did I like? I think maybe Victor. I don't know why. It's just maybe making me think that.
Was it old Victors that you dug out again? Or was it something else?
These.
Yeah, remember you.
Oh no, what I was after was. Begins with V, but it's not Valiant, it's.
it was in like Vulcan or something like that.
Vulcan.
Yeah.
So then,
1979.
2000 AD. I enjoyed the 2000 AD. I came across a lot of these. Friends had these, and I was like, yeah, give us that. I've got I've got about that many 2000 ADs. I've got quite a few.
I would argue with anybody that Judge Dredd is one of the coolest looking characters.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't read much Dredd at all, but I would definitely say that Judge Dredd is one of the most coolest looking characters.
oh, and also
And
I
that's
think,
his uniform.
I think this is the period. I think this is the who is this artist? Because I really liked this guy's
Ron
Judge
Smith.
Dredd. Who?
Ron Smith.
Right.
He's a good dread. Yeah.
I really like this guy's dreads, man.
Yeah.
So in 1979, this is Prog 131. We've got
Nice.
first story is Judge Dredd actually, which they changed later, didn't they? Judge Dredd used to be in the middle, wasn't it, with the colour pages?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
But Judge Dredd is the first story. Yeah, I love this artwork because I remember the storyline where there was fatties
Yeah.
something and
That's right.
it was this artist and I was like, God, there was something about Ron Smith, is it? Ron
Smith, yeah.
Ron Smith. Yeah, I loved a bit of that. Then the advert is World of Knowledge. I don't know what that is. Next, Black Hawk. I didn't really remember Black Hawk.
Trying to think about Judge Dredd.
Oh, ABC Warriors.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Like about the ABC
I
Warriors.
loved ABC Warriors. Then The Mind of Wolfie Smith.
Bisley, wasn't it?
That doesn't.
Was ABC Warriors not Bisley at some point? Simon Bisley. Yeah. I don't know if he'd be there, but
Did it use Dave Gibbons?
Pat Mills.
Yeah.
I wonder all the main characters are Gibbons there.
The Mind of Wolfie Smith, Disaster 1990.
Man, Dave Gibbons' art looks completely different.
But yeah, so there was a lot of stories that resonate more with me. I didn't read it back in '79. These are issues that I've had after, but stuff like Rogue Trooper, Slade, or however you say it. That one that Alan Moore drew, the Ballad of
Halo Jones.
The Ballad of Halo Jones. Love that. That's 2018.
Wrote it.
Prod 131.
What's that written on the back in Biro? Clinton House.
Chiltern House.
Chiltern House.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm afraid I'll have to swear here. Does anyone know anything about Harry Potter?
Fuck no.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I know where
Is there a
film got-
character called Ronald Weasley?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a character
Ron
here
Weasley.
called Ronald Weasel. I don't think there's any connection, but
No.
I found that really sort of interesting. I imagine him with ginger hair.
Next up, Eagle. 1983. I liked an eagle.
That's another of the classics.
Yeah, I liked Eagle.
Sorry, taking a step back to Dredd just quickly.
Yeah, sorry.
The big thing with Dredd that always got me was that he's not beasting. A lot of the time he's drawn pretty skinny, but he still looks unstoppable.
Yeah.
I think is it the helmet behind his eyes that really just does that.
You look like an old school teacher of mine.
Yeah,
which
he just
is extra
always.
fear.
I think it's just because he always looks like very scowly. He just looks
What, did
completely
your teacher
unstoppable.
walk around
Like,
with half of his head covered
Some
up?
artists draw
You looked at him from here. He had the same chest.
Some artists
He
draw
wore
pretty
big
He's
glasses,
normally
so-
pretty. He's normally
I
pretty
never
skinny.
thought of him as skinny. I always.
There is a lot. I mean, look at that front cover. He's quite.
But
he's
isn't
quite
that because
skinny.
everyone is in that
Necessarily.
in that universe that he's drawing? No.
No, not necessarily.
But that cover you see, that's a different artist.
Yeah, like I say, some
To the-
artists
to
draw
the
some
story,
artists.
I think.
I'm pretty sure Dan McDade draws him pretty big.
Right.
One
I
thing
think
I always
Dan draws him quite beefy, but a lot of artists draw him quite skinny.
Yeah.
He does have a lot of different strips where he is quite. He's just kind of skin and bones, but with the extra bulk of the uniform.
Yeah.
And he just looks unstoppable, but he's skinny as an inch, like nothing of him. And yet
He's
still
hard
like-
though, isn't he? He's hard as nails.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're skinny.
But he's usually the things that he goes up against are
Just
massive
mental,
and
yeah.
like these big beasting things.
Yeah, but he's
just
got big
this.
fuck off guns as well, hasn't
Yeah, true. He does.
I always thought to do
All you
with-
have to know, the only thing you have to know is he's the low.
he? Yeah,
Exactly.
One thing
Oh,
about
sorry.
the costume with Dredd, I always thought that shoulder thing, that must get in the way or fall off. If you're running and chasing, that thing will be like, you're fucking holding on to that as well, aren't you? I don't
Oh,
know.
look at this!
Yeah.
Every single bullet is described as to what it does.
That's right.
I mean,
Armour piercing, high explosive, heat seeker.
High X.
Incendiary,
Shoved it out.
ricochet.
He got
Head what?
So you knew what was happening.
Well, I remember. I remember, and that was highlighted in the film as well when they did Dread. Every time he changed it on the gun, it said it on the gun, so it came up saying like high explosive. Wow, that film, man. I'm sorry, I love that film.
That
Yeah,
artwork as well.
Well,
My only
Yes.
thing is
Is that Henry Cooper?
they should have put a lot more people
Or is that non...
in the background.
Yeah.
We'll have a look.
I think they just didn't have the budget
no.
more than anything. Like it was made on a penniless budget compared to some films. It's basically an indie film.
Yeah.
It's just such a shame because it came out at the same time as The Raid, and they're both very similar. Just total coincidence.
Yeah.
They came out basically a month apart, so there's no way any of the two of them would have been able to tell that it was one or the other.
Who?
Yeah.
Who printed 2000?
Sorry,
Fleetway?
Oh, right.
sorry,
Right.
Giuseppe.
No, it's alright now.
So Eagle. So that's one
Eagle.
of the
This
Classic.
was 1983. I remember Eagles smelt nice as soon as you'd picked them up from the shop as well. They didn't have to age at all. It was like, Eagle. Colour centre spread. Dan Dare. I like the fact that the cover was Dan Dare and then it was
Dan there.
You
That's a classic.
go to the
of
middle
the British
for
covers.
continuing. It was
Is
like
that all
colour.
about free? Your Doomlord.
It's a shame.
it's great he was always still a photo in the title from his days as a photo strip.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the whole comic used to be that. Photos. Doomlord.
So it was like a fotonovela.
It was a photo.
Fotonovela.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked the
Brilliant.
artwork in Eagle, actually.
Did you feel the staples out?
No, I don't know what's happened to him. So, first story, we've got Doomlord.
Doomlord. The two best were Dan Dare and Doomlord. That was the two faves.
Yeah,
For
I'm
me,
going to see
sci-fi,
what
isn't it?
rings a bell here for me. The Hand.
The Hand.
Don't remember the Hand. Grandstand. God, that was like the fucking shit. I had to get one of them Grandstand mini arcades in your pocket.
Yep.
Win a BMX at breakfast tomorrow. I mean, how many dreams can you put in a kid? A mini arcade in your pocket, winning a BMX with your ready brek.
Look at that.
Just we didn't get ready brek.
No. Porridge.
Huh?
You got porridge.
No, we didn't
porridge.
get porridge, but we did get ready brek.
Yeah, Wheatless.
Remember that advert? Do you remember that advert with the red aura around the kid? That was like the glow, yeah. That was like the heat. That's it.
Do you remember the Weetabix adverts with the skinheads?
Yes.
They sold Weetabix using animated skinhead Weetabixes dressed up in Doc Martens and.
Jesus.
Oh yes.
I remember the big bits. As a matter of fact, you got a free Weetabix, the skinhead cartoons badge with the eagle one week. Yeah, I've got it in the house still. See the rubbish they used to fob on you as a free gift? I remember Eagle, they gave you, like, there was a new Heinz, spaghetti shapes thing. And it was called Haunted House.
I had them, they were brilliant.
They got a free Heinz Haunted House badge with the Eagle one week as well.
Spaghetti Saurus
Yeah,
as
Talk
well.
about promotional campaigns, odd.
Yeah.
But that's it. They had to do it via comics as well,
Well,
then,
of
because
course.
that was the medium we were.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was kind of cool. Haunted House.
Buy them haunted house tins. Haunted house
They had
tins.
Space Invaders as well,
Cost
and then they had
twice as
soup
much,
with
yeah.
Space Invaders pastas in it.
Yeah. The Fists of Danny Pike. I do recall this story in terms of title, but I remember the artwork and I really loved it. And I'm looking now, it is Jay Burns.
John Burns.
Oh
yeah.
John Burns. All right.
He's excellent.
I absolutely love this artwork because I recall seeing it in other things as well from the time.
John M. Burns.
Right, Crow
What a refill, just let me know.
Street comprehensive.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say no.
I like that. I like all the artwork.
Yeah, that's different. That yeah.
It was nice as well.
Who's that? That's F Baker.
F. Baker. I don't know what the F is.
Then we got Dan there.
Dan Dare. Come on!
Where are the credits for that?
Dan Dare.
Are they at
Can't
the
wait to
end?
be your hands on that one.
Yeah.
Oh
Have
man,
a nice
I've
meal.
forgotten that. I've forgotten the Donkey Kong that opened up.
I had the pinball one, very addictive.
It's like a DS, isn't it?
One-Eyed Jack. One cop was out to prove that crime didn't pay.
John Cooper.
One-Eyed Jack.
Good artist.
So yeah, Eagle. Fine comic.
Eagle was fine.
Loving this picture here of a guy with two swans on his either arms with a duck call.
I just spotted the outlaw Josie Wells on that advert. Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
There's also a good one.
This was
And chips.
Whizzer and Chips. I used to have this was on my pull list.
Yeah.
Loved Whizzer and Chips. I think it used to be just Whizzer and Chips, and then
They put it together.
failing they put it
I
together.
always wondered about that.
Two rival comics in one.
Ah.
This is IPC magazine, 1981. I always used to think, now that I see these prices there, I was like, Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, and Ireland. So it used to be for sale in Malaysia as well.
2000 AD, it used to have in the list, it was like Beetlejuice and all these other galaxies and stuff. And it's probably on the back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh right, yeah.
I've got that
I
one.
can barely read it.
The dinosaur
It's like
one.
Venus, Mars.
I recognise the cover.
It
I
starts
bought that
off
last
with Malaysia,
thing,
New
the monster
Zealand,
one recently.
Australia, South Africa,
Yeah.
Mercury,
Mercury,
Venus,
Mars.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Asteroid Belt,
Asteroid Belt, Saturn.
Neptune, Pluto. That's all the different places. It's tiny.
How much was that on
They
Pluto?
still do that though, don't they? I'm sure
Maybe-
they did that up until recently.
I used to think how long?
should.
I used to think they must be getting this comic next week though. I'm
Was
like,
it 90p.
wherever it is, it
Well,
must be
it's
so far away.
That's expensive.
Whizzer and Chips. Oh, I loved Whizzer and Chips. Don't be lie, it was just
It was good.
Sid Snake,
That
It's a
rupee.
for shipping.
the Champ, Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth.
I used to like all the IPC humour.
Yeah.
They were good.
12.5 pence by Tonic Boy. Yeah, so it's
Very
all.
Roger Dodger.
Yeah, there's lots of same artists and
Yeah.
That was the $6 million man.
Strange Hill. You know, I used to love this artist, whoever this was.
That's Bash Street Kids. Right
Yeah, I used to love this artist.
Bash Street
Yeah.
Kids and
I forget his name, but he is well known, and I was thinking about it lately because there's some of his artwork up at the university.
Is it?
Yeah, and he always fills every panel with loads of funny stuff. And
What was,
Yeah, it's
what was the
beautiful.
one in what was the one in the Beano? The really crude guy that didn't really speak.
well, the
you
character.
see, they should have
Yeah,
never done.
okay.
They should have never written that. When you get to the chips bit inside, it says to separate chips because I remember doing it. Just to separate chips from Whizzer, open up staples in centre pages.
I always thought that was kind of an invented
Thing.
thing.
Right.
That this came out and it was with them chips.
Right.
There's never two comics that got merged.
Right.
It's
But I
Des
have to
Smith.
double check that.
It's Des Smith. He's wearing a red and black
Yeah.
stripy thing with
It's called Shiner.
a mess of hair. It's Des
Oh,
Smith.
sorry, I'm
Sammy.
illegal. Doomlord's turned into a dog. No,
Oh,
Sammy Shrink.
he never did that.
He was a dog. And
Big
turning
Ben.
from a dog
Ben.
to Doomlord.
oh,
Interesting.
Big Ben's been hit.
Junior Rotter.
Junior Ratter.
I remember that there, Junior Rotter. The Crazy Gang.
Oh,
Ed, Sporty, Liz, Brainy, Cheeky.
Right.
That's
off.
I remember that snake.
Right the road.
Yes, it's there. Oh, this was on my pull list. I got
Right
I
of
got a
the
load of
Rovers.
Roy the Rovers like that as well.
Nice.
Didn't read it, but
Strange.
enjoyed
The
looking
smell
at
of
it.
Roy Rovers when I got it as well. Loved it. Roy Rovers. This is a special. This is like a holiday special.
Oh.
But yeah, it's football, and as an avid football player, you know, I couldn't ask for anything more than football comics. But it had current stuff to do with football.
Football as well.
That's a young Pat Nevin who is now on radio. He's finished his playing career, but he's a famous Scottish player. Oink. You got a free record with this, which I still got, a 7-inch flexi disc.
Oh, this is Sing Longer. Sing
Sing-
Alonger.
Sing Alonger. Yeah, it was probably, I've not read it, but this is 1986. It was probably trying to be maybe a bit like, I think Thingy had already come out, Viz had already started, because I've read the story about Viz last year, and they mentioned Oink, and I think this might have come out to try and rival a bit Viz,
Right.
but in a tamer way.
Mm.
But I do remember liking it and thinking, oh, it looks a bit more kind of like I could do it, you know. I'd see stuff like that. That's like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
it looks pretty easy.
Photo
Weedy Willy.
Photo comics.
Yeah, photo comics. Raiders of the Last Oink. Mike and Spike. Jim will fix you with Jimmy Savaloy.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Street Hog.
Sea Hogs, yeah, I remember that.
They reminded me of Pigs in Space on Muppets,
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
which I loved as well.
Uh-huh.
Burp the Smelly Alien. Maggie Collector of Weird Things. Hugo the Hungry Hippo. Brilliant. But yeah, Look at
Oh my
that.
god.
Bacon Stevens.
Nice.
John Potato Peel.
Oh, that's a good caricature.
Yeah.
Anyway, that one. This is all you can. Yeah, I liked it. It was all right. 1986. That I got that actually just before. Again, that was just before I moved. Yeah, that wasn't. That was probably
Right.
2 months before I moved to Italy. So probably the last comic I bought for a long time.
My 8th birthday was in between that time.
Oh yeah, because it was like every 2 weeks. Next, Tiger and Scorcher.
Oh,
Tiger and Scorcher.
Sport. This has got like Formula One
I
racing.
never. Those I never read. I never heard.
No.
Tiger was one of those that ran for decades.
Yeah, I've got a lot of Tigers as well, yeah. So I think this was like a combo of different kind of things. So it's sport and adventure, sport inside it with Dickie Bird's cricket quiz. Oh, Billy's Boots. Oh, absolutely love Billy's Boots. That was a football thing. Used to wear
Magic boots or something.
magic boots that were found like old-fashioned boots.
Yeah.
And without them, he just wasn't the same player, you see.
Is that a character that then developed to Sports Billy? They did an animated cartoon.
No, but no.
So that was
Sport Billy.
Sport Billy. Yeah.
That's.
Oh, I like Sport Billy. That was a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think of this?
Any connection?
I'm at
Corker of a porker, Hamantha Fox.
Brilliant.
She can beat Miss Piggy, I suppose.
Jeff Boycott, racing, Billy Sports School. Oh, a cricket story. Nipper. Is that quite fair?
I just remember some of this
Yeah.
because Tiger and Speed was it?
Martin's Marvellous Mini.
And then Eagle and Tiger merged.
Oh, yeah.
Eagle and
Yeah.
Tiger, when they killed Tiger and stuck it in Eagle.
Johnny Cougar. Oh, wrestling. Oh, look, this guy's artwork as well.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Who was
I
that?
remember that story.
I remember that out because it was like, oh man, I wish I could draw muscles like that.
I don't think they credited anybody in these.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That
We
that
could
stands
find out now though, couldn't we? Probably. Johnny Cougar. Oh, and Banana Man on the back.
Banana Man.
That's where he started in the nutty.
Oh.
Yeah, he started in Nutty, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see Banana Man's original look.
That was my intention to find
Oh,
out more
yeah.
about it, and certainly that's great. Some of them I only
Oh,
hear
This
mentioned.
is a
That's
DC Thompson.
Yeah.
Hotspur.
Hotspur and Crunch. I absolutely love this character for some reason.
Cobra.
King Cobra.
Come with the colours, it looks.
Yeah.
Somebody spoiled an entire
Absolutely
cover.
loved
Rest of
King
the
Cobra.
That's what it looks like.
1984.
That's what it looks honestly, that's what it
Yeah,
looks like. It looks
something
like a
about it,
glaze.
isn't
Yes.
What does it smell like? Smell like chips.
It doesn't smell. It doesn't smell too bad actually. It doesn't smell too like. But yeah, I loved King
You know,
Cobra.
just-
Something about his outfit. It was like
Yeah.
brilliant. It was a bit different.
Yeah,
He was hard and all.
I'm loving it. It's
Yeah. It's good.
King Cobra.
King Cobra.
Starhawk. Come on!
Starhawk.
Yeah.
They put that in Starblazer sometimes. You got a whole Starblazer issue with Starhawk.
Nice.
Now this one was a really interesting one. Champ. Because instantly when I looked at it I was like, God, it looks different to all the other comics of the same size. It kind of looked photorealistic, the artwork.
Mm-hmm.
I realise now that I liked the colour scheme and the different way that they did stuff. It was, I don't know, something stood out about it with Champ. This was a DC Thompson
It's
again.
in a Dennis the Menace on the front.
Nash is at the back.
Yeah.
Nash is at the back.
Oh yeah, see you in the fun section,
Yeah,
saying
yes.
Dennis.
Yeah, so he is. It says that Champ is great. And it's got.
Oh look, School Under Siege, the Kingsway kids in a schoolyard showdown. Who knows, maybe
Yeah, will we? Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
will we,
Kingsway, yeah. DC Thompson, who'd have thunk it that they've put out
many.
such good stuff, and yeah. The Topper.
Top part.
I've
The
got
topper
the annual.
for boys and girls. No one's excluded.
You know where Shuggie Duggie is in the Beano, but he looks completely different. He's got ginger hair instead of black hair.
They must have thought, yeah, we just got to find people that are like mischievous kids, draw mischievous kids and give them a name. Tricky Dicky, Dennis the Menace. What's the one from Nutty called?
Minnie the Minx.
Minnie the Minx. So we've got Tricky Dicky on the cover. This is the topper number one.
Yep.
Number 1691, June the 29th, 1985.
Oh.
Ali's Baba is the next story. Boppo the Hopeless Hooligan. He's got a head like the Elephant Man.
He looks like that Weetabix character.
Hungry Horace. God, I look like Hungry Horace now. Peter Piper. His magic pipes bring things to life.
I should have brought the annual with me. It's got all these guys in full
Seven
colour.
Kelly. All change.
Feral the Feral.
Guy. Superboy.
Spelled S-O-U-P.
Yeah.
I think Mickey the Monkey's in there somewhere.
Square Eyes, the TV fan. Oh, I remember that.
I remember that as well.
Beryl the Peril.
Yeah.
I remember, I remember her.
She would have been the dandy, didn't she?
The
Oh,
front
Hoops,
cover.
yeah.
Front cover has a baby. I think he's called Cuddles. And then
Yeah,
the
Cuddles.
dandy, they had Dimples.
Yeah.
And they decided, I think when this comic went under, they decided to put Cuddles in with Dimples. So they had Cuddles and Dimples and made them sort of related. So they did two unrelated
Cousins.
characters and put them together.
November 2nd, 1985.
Inflation.
Every Saturday,
20p.
20 pence. Ireland, 30 pence, including that.
Number 2 again.
Britain's bubbling new comic. So yeah, front cover is Cuddles, as Mike just said. Oh, that's a nice page. Look at that. Who is that? It's the same, because it's DC Thompson. It's the same slave artist, isn't it? Over and over again.
The book to it. Yeah.
That's a beautiful sheet. That's who's the character that this person would do in the Beano?
Dennis Menace. Definitely.
You mean the artist?
Yeah, that would have done this same artist.
I would have
Do
said
you recognise
Dennis
the
Menace.
style? Yeah, I would have said. I
Could
don't
be.
know.
Unless.
Could be because there's.
It
thing
is
is
DC Thompson.
they have so many artists.
That's maybe more sort of Dennis Menace.
Yeah.
Oh. That looks very Urwally-esque, actually.
Yeah, whoever did that, that's who that is probably, yeah. And then, yeah, that's that. And then the only other two things I brought, a Valiant Annual, 1966, because this was the one that I mistakenly thought was what I was after, but actually I was after
Vulcan.
The one that I brought once that had no cover left on it. But there are some similar stories like The Claw, this guy here, Kelly's Eye.
Yeah.
Looks
Kelly's
like Kelly's Eye.
Kelly said that was published in Spain
Right.
in a Spanish magazine. Kelly's like and Claw as well. But it was mixed up with other Marvel comics and other things.
What? Oh, is that Vince?
That's brilliant.
And then this, the big Sid pink one. Turns out I do have a few of these issues, but I've pulled the annual out anyway.
Yes.
This, I loved it. When I first read it, I was like, "Look, this is something different."
Yeah.
We don't need to go into it any more than that, but definitely. I mean, it's still going, isn't it? In terms of, I saw it like on top shelf of a in petrol station. So what's that doing up there with titty mags?
That's what it goes.
Yeah.
But,
very
you know,
close,
some classics: Johnny Fart Pants,
Yeah.
Sid the Sexist, Buster Gonad and his unfeasibly large testicles, Terry Fuckwit, Conman the Barbarian, Biffa Bacon, Johnny Fart Pants, Pathetic Sharks, Hambo.
Has it got any of the letters pages in here?
Oh, it must have. Mr. Logic, what a wanker. Poor Winker, the tall vicar. They were mad. Shaky Stevens, they were mad for Shaky Stevens, weren't they?
Yeah.
He's everywhere.
Isn't his name on the front page?
As well, yeah.
So it's his book. His book belongs to
Billy the Fish. Obviously there's the Fat Slides, which I don't think they're in here yet.
Roger Melly in there.
Roger Melly, the man on telly.
Yeah.
Maybe he came later, but yeah, these were great for like someone loved the first times. 20 things you never knew about vegetables. I mean, back in the day, it was like it was funny stuff. Yeah, that's about it. That's
a tremendous selection you brought.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Certainly, that historically wise, you cover a big, a big chunk.
I've got two filing cabinet drawers of English comics, but that includes the marbles that I brought last time, which I obviously didn't bring this time.
That's really good.
Transformers.
I'm going to just say mine. Maybe.
Well, I only brought 3 things. I didn't want to, because I mean the 2000 AD itself. I got a few things from 2000 AD.
Okay.
Like Nikolai Dante, especially. I really enjoy that. But I discovered that a few years ago, so I managed to buy the trade paper of the kind of graphic novel compilations. So I've always enjoyed that. But I brought 3 things I thought from different eras. One of them is V for Vendetta, which I believe was published in the magazine Warrior. Is that right?
Oh,
And then
yeah. Have I got a Warrior there? No. Warlord.
And then I think it was DC in Vertigo. It managed to actually publish that in the States. And we got it in Spain eventually. Once it was published in America as well. I also brought Deer and Quitch by Alan Moore and Alan Davis.
Was that a 2000 AD?
2000 AD,
yeah. Story, yeah.
And that's hilarious. That one is just, it's really, really funny. And it's a fantastic.
Can I have a look at it?
Yeah. That's a Spanish edition of it.
I always thought that guy reminded me of that. It was a period where the X-Men had changed. I was a bit confused. I was like, hang on, there's these X-Men, but yet these other X-Men are reading a different X-Men. So I was reading the British X-Men, and then there was the American ones that were like, they had Cyclops in it. No, not Cyclops. Colossus and stuff with it. But they had that, what's he called, that night guy with the blue... Nightcrawler. He reminded me of Nightcrawler for some reason. I was like, what's the deal with that? Is Nightcrawler the one that... Teleport, yeah.
A German character that's
Is
deeply
this
religious.
funny then? Is it a funny thing?
Yeah, it's a funny one. I bought that in one of my trips to Barcelona a few years ago. I found it in a wee shop, and I found it. I thought, oh my god, I need to get this.
I remember him done in dresses like that.
Really, really funny. There's different. There have been published different compilations because there's this one. I think there is also ones with Jamie Delano, but I only have that.
But they're doing Dia and Quinch again, no?
And they're doing that, but it's different.
They're just
It's different. Different. It's not quite. For me, it's not quite the same. It's such a.
sense.
Yes.
You just think of
it's
Davis
great.
and Alan Moore,
Yeah, I remember.
yeah.
And
Going, what's the deal with that?
we always go about Alan Moore when he writes stories, and this one in particular is hilarious. There's humor everywhere and dark humor and sarcasm everywhere. It's just really, really good. And the other thing I brought, again completely different, was again I bought in Barcelona in the same trip. Class War, which was an independent comic by Comics in Britain, by Rob Williams, Trevor Hairsine, Travel Foreman, and it's a kind of a science fiction Political message as well in there. It's just another example of one of the comics that I got published in Spain. Not long ago, that one. That's just a few years ago. But anyway,
Some hawk gentleman.
So that was quite good? Class 1?
yeah, I did like it. It's as I say, it's kind of there's political message and there's kind of science fiction and if you read it now as well, there's certain things quite up to date about how government manipulates people and that is so yeah, I thought that to be an independent comic at that time.
When was it? Sorry, a few years ago. Did you say?
Yeah, I think that was in the early noughties when they came out. That one,
Right.
I think. If you perhaps at the beginning you have the credits. It
No,
tells you
it's-
years.
Oh,
Normally
right,
that's
yeah,
a small
yeah.
print.
Yeah, 2001. Yeah.
Comics.
ComX. I'm pretty sure it's ComX.
Was
Oh,
that
yeah,
it was
like a
on
website
ComX, yeah. ComX.
online thing?
It could be.
It was.
But yeah, in
Nice.
Spain, I think maybe it got published by different publishers, but it was an independent thing. And in Spain, got all together in this book. All together. I have brought my Nikolai Dante or the other 2000 AD stuff, but I would imagine we will do a 2000 AD special eventually.
I mean,
Because
yeah,
of-
2000
because
AD
there's
deserves its own thing, doesn't
It's
it?
so vast
Yes.
and so big and
Well,
so many
everybody
stories and
likes it as well,
artists.
don't they?
Yeah, so
Do you like 2000 AD?
I don't really read it much, but I have.
But
I have
we-
read it. I do enjoy the
that's the
stories.
thing, because it's so
Yeah.
vast. I thought, well,
Yeah.
is there any point to bring?
Yeah.
We've mentioned it, it's there, but it could go. The list is.
Yeah.
We mentioned just Judge Dredd, but you could go, an ABC Warriors and
Especially when you see
Rogue Trooper and
all the things that the people who were involved with the early 2000 AD that
Yeah,
went on
yes.
and did, you know.
the list
there's
is
some-
huge. So probably we could do a program just about 2000 AD.
Yeah.
Comics,
we
I
could
would
actually,
imagine.
yeah. To be
So
fair.
that's something that I think we should do. That.
I've got a few in
Yeah,
my
okay.
list as well.
Yeah, I still feel there, do you?
So, I've got a couple of things from Stephen Collins, the gigantic beard that was evil. He touts himself more as an illustrator rather than a comic creator, but he does actually have like comic strip work. And this
You want
is
more?
kind of, it does have panel work within it, as well as sort of
Oh,
single
nice.
page.
Fucking hell.
It's a beautiful book, really nice,
Fucking hell.
really interesting.
It's all pencils, isn't
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
It's a gorgeous story.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Is the story as good as the art?
The story's good. Like, don't get me wrong. The story's good. I enjoy it, but it just takes a bit to kind of get into. It's pretty bleak, the story, to be honest, about this kind of outsider. It's kind of
It's like a fable or something, eh?
yeah. It's very
It's like
much somebody who feels like they don't belong within
Yeah.
the world that they live in, and they live in a very bleak town that sits on the edge of the water. That's apparently on the edge of the world, and nobody questions as to whether it's on the edge of the world or not. And he often wonders what's beyond the sea and all this kind of stuff. And then he gets this hair grows into his face, and then it suddenly, slowly but surely, becomes this beard. Everybody that lives in this town is all very prim and proper, and so when he gets unorderly, they start to get worried about him, and then the police get involved, and then he starts to get the beard becomes sentient and takes on a life of its own and starts
God, look at it.
taking people into it and everything like that. It is very much a story of like loneliness and isolation and how to break free from that kind of isolation and from the conformity of life and all this kind of
Look at
jazz.
that. That's a brilliant drawing with
There's
the projector
They're gorgeous.
on the like an overhead projector projecting on there.
Yeah.
Beautiful illustration.
Is that just pencil, do you think, or is that like charcoal
I
and
think it's
I
pencil.
think it's pencils in here. It's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
And he does some strips as well. Like I say, it's actually called Some Comics by Stephen Collins. But it's just
Oh,
loads
yeah.
of little like strip stuff.
That's in one of the papers. Isn't
Guardian.
It? That, yeah.
Yeah. There's some funny ones in there, and you know, just it's very typical paper strips. And, you know, it's
I mean, it's bad.
a lot of commentaries and stuff on stuff that's maybe happened in the news or whatever.
It's
But
got a good endorsement on the back of Raymond Briggs.
oh, is it? I've never noticed.
An amazing book, completely original, surreal yet believable.
Raymond Briggs.
Raymond
But
Briggs.
there's a lot of like social undertones and whatnot running through it that you wouldn't think when you see the cover of the gigantic beer that was evil. You don't think that it's going to have any sort of commentaries on life or conformity or isolation or anything. You know, it's unreal. And these are just beautiful. I think I really enjoy comic strips. If you wouldn't be able to tell. I really enjoy comic strips, but they just look lovely. Yeah, that
I do.
that is amazing.
My T-Bridge comic, the 3 panel things. I want to
Do it like that.
Definitely.
You like that format?
I want to do a book this shape.
That size, yeah.
yes.
It's a nice.
Yeah, and I'm doing something that would fit that, so give me a few years.
It's like remember the Peter Bag one, Bat Boy.
Bat Boy, yeah.
Bat Boy was like that as well. And the other one, the birds. Who was that? That did that? The different birds with the whiskey bottles and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
What was that again?
Tony Millionaire.
Yes, Tony Miller. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And the Calvin and Hobbes books are bigger, but
Yeah, they're elongated like that. Yeah,
it's just cool.
I love
It'd
it.
be nice to have a book this one.
That's a gorgeous looking book as well, yellow and pink. It's a good contrasting colour. Anyway,
Good.
we already mentioned 2000 AD, but 2000 AD also did some of my favourite Batman stories with Judge Dredd.
Nice formats.
Yeah, I like the bigger book, but they've also got...
Is it all colour?
Yeah, it's all
Oh,
colour.
nice.
They're all very, very different styles. This is what I mean, look, see how skinny he is.
Thing that
And he's...
for the rest of the book.
I've actually got that one in comic book form.
Yeah,
Whereas I've got this one as it is there.
Mm-hmm. It is. Yeah.
Nice.
And these are some of my favourite ones. That's
Nice artwork.
gorgeous, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who's this artwork? Is this Bisley? That looks like him, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
That is one of my favourite 2000 AD stories. The first one. I wasn't too keen on that one because it seemed just like a long fight on top of a train, which had its pluses, but compared to that one, I like
I
that.
must admit,
The first
I
one.
remember as a budding artist, I remember looking at stuff like that and going, I'll never be able to draw like that. And it was a bit of a, like,
Turn off.
oh shit, I'll never get to that. Some other strips you'd go, I could see myself reaching that maybe, but
This is just
Not
a
this
killer. That is just a killer to see that. That just... There's two different illustrators. It's Carol Critchlow and Dermot Power.
Oh.
But
This is the one I got.
they're lovely books.
yeah, they are. They've got a gorgeous style, but
Nice size, format, yeah.
whap. You smack in the face to Judge Dredd. But I enjoy these. These are fun. They're just fun stories.
This was good because when Batman, although Batman was American and Judge Dredd was British 2000 AD, and they were quite worlds apart. And then when they first did this crossover, it was good because just so happened Alan Grant was writing both of them at that time.
Oh, right.
He was working for both the Britain and America,
So
so, it was
maybe-
perfect that he wrote this.
Is that maybe what made it easier for him
Yeah,
to
maybe
get
that's
the
what
crossover?
spawned the idea.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
He's been sitting right.
He sat there on his couch watching like the news. He's like,
He's like, wait a minute.
I dropped. Oh man, a story with both of them.
Ka-ching!
Pitch it.
That's nice. I say this is a very quintessential British story, The Beginner's Guide to Being Outside. We spoke about this many a time before, but it's a very, British wildlife countryside and whatnot.
So good that one.
We spoke about this many a time. You would only need to visit some of our previous episodes to discover them. But it's filled with British countryside, British animals, British sensibilities. I would say within the characters and everything as well. But it's just a really nice. It's a really nice book, and it's also from a British publisher.
It's missing British litter though, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. There's none of these rivers are filled with crisp packets or bottles
Or rubber johnnies.
They're just off panel.
Which, might I add, walking the dogs down at near the Dichty River, and it is literally just bottles upon bottles upon bottles and polystyrene, and that's horrible. And yeah, it's a beautiful river.
Good.
And this is just a whole load of all British independent made small press, big press, whatever the hell you want to say, comics, anthologies, everything. It's all being done under our noses in our own backyards.
If only I could meet one of the creators of
Oh,
these
if only.
comics.
If only. But you know what I mean?
What would you ask him?
Autograph them all. I won't put it on eBay.
We've got a total plethora. I'll just run through the names. We've got Rachel Smith. We've got the awesome comics guys who do the podcast. They just made their one. They've got their second one on the way. We've got an anthology from Claire Hubbard. We've got Death Rattle from Bob Turner. We've got Modern Swans from Neil Swans. We've got Left, which has been made into a big whole graphic novel now, with all of the parts together, from Stephen Ingram. Never Ever After Space Captain from Chris Baldy and, oh my god, I'm going to get it wrong, Chris Baldy and Michael Park. We've got the Treehouse collectors, I had them on the other day, with various artists inside of them as well. We've got our very own David Robertson, and we've got these anthologies that came from, where were they from again?
The universe.
University.
Yeah,
Publications,
university.
But just with a whole plethora of different artists, all homegrown. But you know, there's so much out there under our noses, and it's all British done stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We come from a town that's very much in that mindset. I mean, at the minute there is a whole comic strip that illustrates how the waterfront has come to fruition, and the V&A and everything. And, you know, comics are everywhere within this town alone. But the amount of festivals and everything that's going on, the British comic scene is ridiculous.
Yes.
So when you're talking British comics, you just need to literally look out your front door.
Yeah. Certainly in Dundee, there is there's a big place for it.
Mm-hmm.
And many things are happening at different levels.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's because we were choosing the themes the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were British comics, and they were going Scottish comics, and then Dundee comics, and
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, probably one day we can talk about comics and Dundee.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Oh god, I would.
because the connections are just tremendous. There's many things again. A lot of material, a lot of artists, a lot of creators that we can talk and connect and go from there. Yeah,
But
fantastic.
even Mike's got one of the
There's
small,
there's more than
smallest
that.
presses there. It's Black Heart Press, isn't it? Is that what they are?
What have you brought, Mike?
Oh,
Yeah, crack on.
I'll start with these ones then that you spotted. I'll take these guys. But interesting thing is how you've got the Judge Dredd and Batman. Remember the Batman animated series in the early 90s? And the guy who did Commissioner Gordon's voice. Whenever I read a Judge Dredd comic, I imagine Judge Dredd having the same voice as Commissioner Gordon. I think that would suit the character. It's like no nonsense authority. I just managed to read this one last night, just in time, from BHP Comics based in Glasgow. Laptop Guy. It's about a guy who started his career in comics because he's fed up with his job working in a burger takeaway place. And then he's got all these ideas, and one idea seems to stick in his mind, but unfortunately he kind of borrows it from his mad Russian mate, who shows off how hard he is by chopping off his arm. And then eventually, Laptop Guy becomes real, or a figment of his imagination. You can't tell which. Laptop Guy does get upset at times. There he is, he makes his appearance. It is a comedy. The main character though, Shah Nazir, is portrayed in here. He's the artist, but he's also a character.
Met him at that Glasgow.
Yeah, trying to see us.
Yeah, and he was kind enough to sign it for me as well and do a wee laptop guy there name.
Nice.
So it's funny, it's quirky, it's got he's put a lot of thought into it, and the characters are a bunch of oddballs as well. So it's well worth a look.
So that's laptop guy,
Black
Hair Press,
and then another BHP Black Heart Com. Is that what it is?
Black Hair.
Silly me, I only just found that out right
Black
now.
Hair Press comics.
Yeah.
Ah.
They're Glasgow based, aren't they?
Yeah. The other one is Plagued. It's not as humorous, it's not really meant to be, but when you look at the style, you think, it was drawn like for comedy in mind, but it's actually a bit more serious.
That's Tanya Roberts, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, it's actually.
Yeah, she's good.
I recognise that. Yeah, very good artist.
Yeah. Met her at
You can see in the circuit of different cons. She's been there.
Yeah, but I met her. Remember the first. Oh my god, the first
Decon or whatever it's called.
Decon that we went to.
Yeah,
I contacted you there.
yeah, and she was there. Yeah.
Yeah. Got her one that was like a futuristic cowboy story thing.
This is a futuristic witch story,
There you go.
and this guy's out to hunt witches, and they've got a control button that they can block all witch powers. But then, of course, she finds out that he's one himself. So then he goes on the run with her, and they're being followed by his old teacher. So it's another interesting one.
Just quickly, Blackheart and Press are actually, they're on that Comic House app as well, so you can get most of their titles on Comic House to read.
This one here I randomly bought. I only found out recently it was actually based on a trilogy, a British film trilogy, gangster films. I like the idea of noir, so I bought that to just like compare the styles. But I like 1920s stuff. This is Jack Falls.
Is that a Danny Dyer film?
That's right, it is.
Yeah.
So there's like 3 of them, and this is the third one. So how do we look? There's some of the style. It's all pure black and white. There's no shade of grey in there whatsoever. The characters are drawn kind of simply, but it's trying to get its own unique look. If I'd known about the characters beforehand, like if I'd watched the films or seen the other graphic novels, I might have gone into it a wee bit more. But as a standalone one, it's all right.
Looks like Sin City.
Yeah, but because there's all this history of the character before that, I kind of maybe a lot of it was lost on me. And I've got Saltaire. This is the first one. So you see his origins, and then he takes on the Roman army. And it's lovely art. I like it. Again, this is another one I managed to get signed. So I think this was
Proper the autograph hunter, aren't you?
Oh yeah. And one. Now what wee ones have I got?
Sign my book.
Oh, here's one I got signed as well. Terror from the Other Side.
Oh yeah.
I've got visions of you might just go up to people and being, sign my fucking book.
What else? Yeah, I sometimes get a picture with them as well.
Whoa, well that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
He was a good laugh. I'll call him John, even though his name here is Joan.
Joan.
Yeah. So anyway, he's got quite a sense of humour on him. This. Tom, I think you were reading this book, so if you want me to sort of hold back on saying anything.
Yeah, hold back, please.
Well, anyway, it's some bits are pretty fun. Other bits are extremely serious. The artwork's pretty nice. He's got a habit of drawing on etched squared paper. The characters actually look like they'd be pretty good if they were animated as well, so it could easily be transferred onto animation. But the individual, the artist responsible is, I believe, a school teacher. So when some of his kids find out about what it's like, he has to sort of emphasise this is not for kids, this book, despite the colourful, colourful looking characters in there. Speaking of autographs, I got an autograph by Brian Talbot, but it's not in this one. It's one of my Granville ones, where he drew Mr. Toad, the villain from that one. Might have been the third one. But he, alongside his wife Mary and Kate Charlesworth, they did this book. This one's called Suffragette, and it's about the suffragette movement about 100 years ago. But the main character is made up, so it's like everything that happened to her would have happened to other people, but the main character's named person is fictional, but it's full of actual real people that lived. She's the only character that's in actual colour. The rest are done with sort of like shades. But yeah, all the supporting characters are real people, and a lot of the things that happened are quite horrendous, but actually happened. But if you're not familiar with the suffragette movement, I kind of recommend having a look at this this book
I've
here.
read that one, it's actually very good.
I always wanted to read that.
And I brought a bundle of 2000 ADs. I brought Slain. This is the first one of Slain, with that brilliant Italian artist that I really like.
Bernardinelli.
Yes.
Is it Bernardinelli?
Yep.
I think.
The late artist. I brought this is the first one of Robo Hunter. This is when Sam Slade goes on that space mission and gets rejuvenated, but the kid, the astronaut who's with him, gets rejuvenated as well into a toddler. This is one of my favourite Judge Dredd books, although it's primarily on Judge Death, whose real name is Sidney. It's about his childhood. He gets interviewed by the press, and he talks about his childhood. And the funny thing is that he doesn't see eye to eye with this journalist, but Judge Death is he's renting out a flat to this old lady. And the old lady comes in to give him and the journalist cups of tea and biscuits, because she thinks he's a friend of his come round to play. And whenever the voices are raised, she'll knock on the door and says, "I hear raised voices, is everything alright?" And then at the end of his interview, Judge Death asks the journalist to pay up because he's short on rent money. Shako. I read this and it was funny. It's meant... I don't know if it was...
The only bear on the CIA.
Yeah.
Place.
Shako swallows a missile with some horrible weapon inside of it. I think it's a bio-risk weapon, poison. So the CIA want to get it back before the Russians get it. So Shako, who's a really big, strong polar bear, goes on the rampage. He hates humans. There's that classic scene where the deputy dog sheriff is in the shower, and he leans over to try and grab a towel. Instead, he grabs a lump of Shako's hair, and he gets devoured promptly for it. Shako's size keeps on changing in this. There's some pictures where he looks like he's only about twice the size of a man, and then in other pictures where he's about 20 times the size of a man. And no one is spared. There's a nurse getting a fist between the groin, or a bear paw between the groin. The school teachers get eaten, soldiers get eaten, CIA agents, even battles a killer whale and a walrus in some of these. Entire packs of wolves are just swept aside, and it's all done in the tongue-in-cheek. But the hero is half Inuit. What's his name? He's got a funny, improbable name. Buck Dollar. Buck Dollar goes in to stop Shako, the killer bear.
Buck Dollar. Now, is it Pat Mills the writer?
I do believe he is. Yes, Pat Mills and John Wagner as well.
Oh, right, again.
Among others. And the final one here, we do have the Granville, but we covered that a couple of
I think it's a Spanish artist, isn't it, for Shako? Right, Ramon Solar, that's right, it's a Spanish artist.
Would you want to answer a question before you go?
Yeah.
We had a question posed to us from John Edam himself, John Adam.
Oh, right, okay.
What, tonight?
No, it isn't anything serious.
Whilst we were No.
No.
Obviously,
a couple of weeks back.
yeah, because this is.
I said, any questions for the podcast? And his question was, what's your perfect Sunday?
What's my
Toffee.
perfect Sunday?
Yes. As in, like, Sunday as in the day.
Oh, I was going to say strawberry.
Okay.
We don't get serious questions.
Perfect Sunday would be.
No, it's a family show.
I haven't started yet. Well, getting up relatively late, having a long lie, going downstairs, prepare breakfast, then see the kids coming downstairs and my wife, you know.
As soon as you see them, back upstairs.
No. And then probably just relaxing in the sofa, reading some comics. And then maybe later on going outside for a walk. Enjoying the fantastic Scottish weather that we enjoy sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a nice Sunday.
That's a good
Yeah.
Sunday.
That's a good Sunday. Yeah, that's a
Good
very
Sunday
good
for
Sunday.
me.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah,
I like that.
that was my answer.
That's your yeah. Perfect. Thank you, Nanda.
Oh, look at that.
No problem. I'm gonna have to go.
Right.
Sorry, guys. But good to see you all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
great.
see you.
Thank you for
see
your
next
selection.
time.
Thank you for your selection. That was fantastic.
Oh.
Guys, thanks
See you
again.
Cheerio.
See you
See you
next
later.
time.
Well,
Yeah.
I never got your guys' answers to
Yeah.
Perfect Sunday.
We definitely have to involve Colombo on the telly. In the
nice.
afternoon, yeah. Maybe some pancakes or eggy bread somewhere in there.
Okay.
Nice roast chicken dinner.
Yeah.
What else?
Lots of not doing much.
Yeah. Maybe some board games.
A lion,
Yeah. A lion.
breakfast,
Yeah.
then just a top up for the lion after a heavy full
nap.
breakfast.
In the afternoon, maybe.
Oh no, this is like mid morning.
Mid-morning nap.
Mid morning nap following a heavy breakfast.
Yeah.
Maybe get dressed.
Uh-huh.
Lunch.
Yeah.
Maybe another nap. If it comes, if it doesn't, then just sit down and watch something.
Mhm.
Just take it easy, basically.
It's a good Sunday.
If the weather's nice, might stick my leg out of the window or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the breeze.
It'd be nice to go for a long, nice bike ride in Texas. If I knew and guaranteed that the weather was going to be nice, I'd take a rucksack with some stuff to read and ride somewhere nice and read them. That's what I'd do.
Sounds like a good Sunday.
I've done that before, like gone to like that rock garden, that fine little rock garden.
Yep.
That's been nice.
It's lovely.
Yeah, I remember reading that Pride of Baghdad there. That was good. No, the lions.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Be yourself, Mike.
I'm not
Perfect
entirely
Sunday.
sure. We go out somewhere if it was sunny. I like to wake up feeling as if I'd actually had some proper sleep. That would be nice. A relaxing day. I like wandering off to places like Edinburgh. That's quite nice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we rake about.
Right, well I've brought I actually, for the last week or so, have been absent-mindedly thinking about all the British comics and which ones my favourites were from blah blah, and I had, you know, images that come up here about carrier bags full of one representative issue of every comic I've ever read or something. And then I thought, no, I'll not do that. So I ended up this morning, I had to spare 5 minutes before I ran up the house, and I thought, well, I'll just grab a few favourite, you know, books of more, not childhood things, more up to date. Although I've got a few nostalgic things. So my first one here is Spleener by Nigel Otterlund. And this is such a funny comic. This, I have to say, this is one of my favourite indie guys, British indie guys, and he's in that style of Peter Bagg-esque, sort of underground humour, plenty of like it's relationship stuff, you know, plenty of shagging in it, you know, and plenty of look like that spank, spank, spank. Oh yes, you know the humour is good, and
Do I need to say anything that The Perfect Day also involves lots of shagging as well?
understood. Yep. So I really rate this guy and enjoy him. Nigel Ortoloni Splino.
Nigel, sorry.
Lowney or Loney, Nigel
Ochterlony.
And he actually seems to do, I think he does like work for the Dandy or the Beano and stuff. He does like stuff for DC Thompson's.
I don't know what it is, but there's something about his hairstyle quite
Yeah.
interesting.
You relate to that. So yeah, he's going through his life with his wife, and you know, here's a bit of who's in charge, you dirty little slut. Whap. Oh, it's you, miss. So you know, there's a bit of he cheats on his wife, and then the wife hears about it and plays him, and then she goes and cheats on him with the same woman and man. So it's all quite good, and it's funny, and it's like a British Peter Bagg to be really crude.
Okay.
Now that's, for me, that's high praise, you know, because I love Peter Bagg.
Mm-hmm.
But that was excellent. And he did another one that was also good, Weak as I Am, but it was the same idea, but then he'd put super powers in it and stuff. So it was a bit more fantastical than this one.
Nice.
But it's excellent. To me, it's great. He's one of the great. He's another one. If he did a book, I'd be like, yeah, I'll go and get that and trust it was going to be great. You know?
Right.
Nigel Ochterlony. On the front it says naughty, naughty, 18 plus. At the bottom then. Naughty, naughty. Then I've also brought Andy Watson, who did this with Little Star, and has done a bunch of other stuff. But I really like Andy Watson's art style as well. And this is to do with Andy, in here, but it's about having his, so you know, he's a dad now, so it's all his thoughts on bringing up the kid, and it's hence the name Little Star, you know, it's about his wee baby and stuff. And then of course, next I'm moving on to Eddie Campbell.
As in love,
As in
hell.
From hell.
he drew
From
From Hell, and this is one of his own ones that he wrote, How to Be an Artist. And really, it's a great title, I love that title. And then when I read it, it's all about his career. He's kind of recounting how he got into comics and what he's been up to all that time.
He does a lot of comics like that, doesn't he? Just kind of recounting a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he used to. He's not really done anything for a few years.
Oh, really?
I think he's upended his life. You know, he's kind of split from his wife because he lived in Australia. So he's divorced, left Australia, started a whole new life, you know, kind of thing, in the last few years. So he's been, I guess, everything's been upside down. But he's just, I mean, he's married to new Audrey Niffenegger, you know, not that author. And he's illustrated one of her books.
These pages are nice and thick. They're deceptively thick. You think,
Yeah.
oh, I've
Look,
got past
yeah.
the page.
So, you know, that's a really excellent book. I think this might have been the first book of Eddie Campbell's I bought, his own stuff. And it's lovely. It's very nice. So, I must say, I had a whole other thing planned where I was going to bring a 2000 AD, a Beano, a Dandy, Eagle, pretty much like what you did, but maybe not the same issue. Well, it wouldn't be the same issues, but a lot of the same titles in there. Warrior, I had, and Viz and things. And I thought, I'm not doing that. So I ran in and looked at the shelves and 3 British books that I saw. And then, then I went for some nostalgic items. 2000 AD annual, 1982. I love this. As we talked about annuals for Christmas, this is one I got.
Look at that.
So this would have been, I guess, Christmas 1981 because they're always looking ahead. Well, this book, as you can see, has been read, reread, kissed,
Smelled.
loved, everything. And of course, I've written my name and address on it because you've got to. But
Love
there's
that.
Tharg got his own story here with the Superman kind of Tharg Ahoy. Loved that because Tharg never usually got a story, but he annually did. And look, there's a.
He always looked like someone that had just been sketched at the end when they were finishing the comic off. Yeah, just draw Tharg in there.
Yeah, I love this.
I smell it wafting this way.
Oh yeah,
And the
that's-
Polydroid.
That was a crap as well. Brilliant. Oh, the world of TV games. Yeah. That's about it.
A microchip.
Oh, spilled a bit of tea.
Look at those computer games.
Wow.
Classic, eh? Robusters. Alan Moore wrote that. That's a mental story. Steve Dillon.
Oh.
Steve Dillon artwork. The guy who was setting fire to everything. Oh, see this book, it's burned into my brain. Great art, Steve Dillon. And this is Mark 1. This was great. Again, this was the first chapter.
They're Bionic Man.
Is he meant to be like Bionic Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it goes into.
He even looks like him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Then it goes into
Steve Austin.
Ian Kennedy. Love that artwork right away. Ian Kennedy. Brian Boland, Dread.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
One of the this is a terrific, and it's a colour as well. And he goes into the monster in the zoo.
Yeah.
So look at him up the pole. Rapid fire. Sorry, Mike. You know. This guy here. Look. Oh no! It's swallowing me. Open up. You're harbouring a lawbreaker. Dread was just hilarious. He was a badass, like you say, but he was funny.
Yeah.
He's like, open up, and the creature's like, oh.
It's right in.
Look at that. Oh, the colouring.
It's like when I first saw in Superman 1 where he goes underground to
Oh yeah.
to
And he's
push
through all the volcano.
the rock back
All the
up,
lava,
and
yeah.
he's going through the lava.
But he goes in and finds a guy. You're under arrest. Classic.
You knew your 2000 AD.
Yep. Look, finished 24th of the 5th, 83. That's just for information, right?
Oh, that's cute.
How to draw.
I remember doing this as well. How to draw Judge Dredd. It's no drawn in here, but I remember copying it. Mike McMahon. That was great. I mean, this was like information straight from the hallowed 2000 AD itself, telling you how to draw him. You know, this was great information.
Look what it says there, using an HB pencil. Draw the rough shape of the
I know.
rough shape.
Yeah.
That's fucking small details and everything.
Yeah, that's the
shading.
thing. The information is rubbish. It's basically kind of saying, draw it. It's like draw it some more, and then draw it and finish the drawing.
How to draw Judge Dredd.
It's like remember the thing you got online, and it was like how to draw an owl or something, and it's like draw the eyes, and then it's like no, draw the rest of the fucking owl.
It was the one with the fox.
That's what this is like.
It's the one with the fox. It's
yeah.
like big circle, little circle,
Flesh.
and the last one's just a detailed drawing.
Flesh. Pat Mills loved Flesh in this book as well. So this is you can see that this is a great annual to get and love. But look, Alan Grant interviewed. Script robot Alan Grant. Monster Fun annual. 1982.
Monster Fun, yeah.
God, this book was another one. Sitting in my bedroom.
Same
listening
artist
to my
again, is that
Adam
DC
Ants
Thompson
albums.
thing?
This is IPC.
IPC.
And this is put your name on it in case it goes missing.
From that road that doesn't exist anymore.
The road's there, but the house is gone.
Oh.
This art is so full of
Oh yeah,
character.
this was. I loved that artist.
Martha's makeup.
What?
Kid Kong.
Oh yeah, I loved that artist. Because he used to do
Yeah,
like.
you know
I remember they did like lines, shadow. No.
The Ghost Train. Brilliant as well. I loved it. This was another great book. So good. I used to copy a lot of the characters. I used to just sit and copy things out of the comics.
Yeah, me too.
And these were And because they were so, the artwork was
Gums.
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 The
Remember
teeth,
Gums,
the teeth came out, poof, they got it with a magnet.
Gums.
I
Big
got Gums' teeth, this time you won't get them back. Yikes, a magnet!
Oh, it's a shame Nando didn't see this one as well. There's some great ones in there.
Yeah, you would have liked that. Tom Thumb's screw.
Oh, because he's a torturer.
Yeah. Freaky Farm. Oh, see that? But just about everything I'm looking at is something I remember drawing. So terrific. Love it.
Yeah.
Another great book there. Monster fun. And then Eagle Annual.
Oh,
1983.
yeah.
This was the first annual when
Oh,
it started.
you know what? It looks
Eagle.
familiar now, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that.
Ian Kennedy, Mekon.
Yeah.
Fleetway Annual. Brilliant. Packed with super features and adventures and a dog there. Photo of a dog.
That dog's dead now.
Oh.
But you know,
It might be dead there.
Yeah, very true.
you know, it made its mark though.
Just put it out there.
Now the entire Dan Dare story is painted by Ian Kennedy.
Beautiful. I wondered, well, I didn't wonder at the time because I didn't have really any concept of it, but I did think, Jesus, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And not understanding quite
How it looks.
how and why, how they were able
The
to.
colour.
I was like, I colour stuff, it don't look like that. I can't make it look like that.
this
Yeah.
was pure painting. And
I used to think that.
I'm sure the Hulk's in this book at some point.
Oh,
There we go.
Wow.
And it's giving you the great news that having finally thrown away the green body paint, giant actor Lou Ferrigno seen here jumping at the chance to have a speaking as opposed to grunting part as Hercules in the new film out in 1983.
Well, he didn't get it, did he?
Yeah, he was in Hercules.
Was he?
Yeah, I think he threw a bear into space.
But beer into space.
Yeah.
Did he take over from Arnie then?
No, Arnie was cool.
No, Arnie was,
Arnie was
one of his
Hercules.
first ones, Hercules in Manhattan, wasn't it?
Hercules in
And they
New
had to
York.
dub,
Yeah.
they had to
Yes.
dub him.
This book's falling apart. Better be gentle with it. Right, so there you are, guys. That's me. I'm done.
Load your load.
My land.
Shut your
That
bolt.
as well.
Shut your bolt.
Lovely.
That's a terrific haul.
Yeah.
I like it.
Funny thing with being British comics, almost every single one has humour. I forgot to mention with Shackle, every human victim, as they were being torn apart, said, "Help! I am being killed by the bear. Help! I'm being eaten. Help! He's taking my head off."
That's class.
What's everybody been reading recently, if anything?
Well, I read that Granville. Is it Force? Chartsmasher.
The fifth one, the last
Yeah,
one.
the last one. Absolutely brilliant. And I've read that in 2 sittings. Fantastic. And I'm halfway through Monsieur. I imagine you say Jean. Yeah, Monsieur Jean. But it's written Monsieur Jean. It's
Okay.
Monsieur Jean. It's well known in France. It's by, I'm gonna butcher these names. Dupuy and Berberian. Dupuy.
Oh, yes.
And
Uh-huh.
barbarian, but instead of ASPE, Berberian. Collector, and it's a collective volume. Don't have humanoid, but humanoids of. It's one of the ones I bought in Holland a couple of years ago. Absolutely loving that because he's aging as you go through it,
Yeah.
and it's a real life thing.
Oh, there's your Dundee connection. Daley Thompson is Daley Thompson. His mum was from Dundee.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What yourself, David?
I've been reading Phil Collins' book,
Oh, nice.
all about his life. Just finished it.
Nice.
Was Collins the drummer?
Yeah.
I didn't realise we actually spoke about books as well.
No, you
Well,
just whatever you've been
was it?
reading.
Oh right. Oh
I've been.
yeah.
I liked it when he was recording the 70s and 80s and Genesis albums, you know, because I love
Of
them.
course, yeah, Genesis, yeah.
And then even when he becomes like a big major pop star, he's like kind of writing, what the hell's going on, you know, he's like, how has this happened? I'm a wee baldy drummer, you know. And I've ended up being like, I'm stood next to Michael Jackson and Madonna, and he's quite good about that. But then later on he gets into his divorces and all, you know, I was like, I'm not really bothered with any of this, you know. I wanted to read about him making music, you know, Genesis and all that. And then by the time he retires,
Did he
it's like,
say
and then I
Peter
got
Gabriel
all
was
the
a
drink, you
wanker
know.
or not?
Sorry?
What does he say about Peter Gabriel?
No, he's just, that's his pal.
Oh, the
Yeah,
the
that's good.
same
That's
pals, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good. The first half was good. It got a bit. I wasn't really feeling it later on. But anyway, that was good. And I also read a book, Arthur C. Clarke, funnily enough again, and it was about the lost worlds of 2001. Yeah. So it was all about them making 2001, the film by Kubrick.
Alright.
And then it was also different bits he'd written for the novel but never used. And I don't know what put me onto that. I think I was watching 2001 again and just started thinking about it. So I want to read more about this, you know. So that was an old book. I can't think what comics I read lately. I reread Logan's Run. Almost like 70s and 80s sci-fi, you know.
Nice.
Marvel and things like that. So I read the first issue of Logan's Run, which is good. It's an adaptation of the film,
Right.
and it's the only one I've got. I might get the rest of them. You know, that was a funny series because I don't know if you know, but it's, I think the first appearance of Thanos is in like a backup strip in Logan's Run 6 or something.
Oh, really?
So now to get Logan's Run 6 costs an absolute bomb. Whereas all the rest of the series, nobody
Gives a fuck about.
But also a good thing was they adapted the film like Star Wars, and then when they were finished adapting the film, you know, they do more stories about the characters. And they did that, and then like MGM got onto Marvel and went, excuse me, what are you doing? You're like, well, we're just, no, we didn't give you the rights to do that. You were to make the film, stop now. So they just cancelled it immediately. They'd done these 2 issues continuing the story, but they didn't have the rights to it, which is funny. Yeah.
That's gone.
Yeah.
What have you been reading, Tom? Been reading up?
I'm still reading. I've started rereading all the old Treehouse comics. I was just reading all them. What else was I reading recently? I read something else recently. And I can't for the life of me remember what it was. Totally gone. I reread that Awesome Comics as well. I've only read it once, so I read it again. Yeah, and I've been reading Penned Gwyn strips by Alan Henderson.
I've seen that online.
I better go anyway, I've got to go, lads. Hey,
Yeah, that's
thanks, man.
No!
See you later.
Great to see you.
That's fun.
Thanks for the book club.
Cheers,
Every time, there's always, you guys always bring fucking books that I want to read. But I've got shit on the go, like I won't mind reading them. The Campbell one and that.
Yeah. No,
The one with the thick
Freedom.
pages, yeah.
oh, the little
Little
star.
Star.
Yeah.
All 3 of those are great.
When I get a period of not reading or something, I like to go around your house and go, oh, look at the shelf. Oh yeah, remember them books. See you, man.
See you later.
I've got to got the tea for that. Take it easy, guys.
See you later.
To send us any comments or questions or just to say hello, you can reach us by email at thatcomicsmell@gmail.com. We're also available on Instagram and Twitter at thatcomicsmell. Share the podcast with your friends and followers. We're available on YouTube, SoundCloud and iTunes. And don't forget to rate, review and subscribe. Thanks for listening. Our music is by Chartsmasher. aka John Adam. You can find John on Twitter at JohnEdam, and you can buy the track Dial Up on Bandcamp.